Hello there, graphic communication. Mr. Young here, just doing a quick video. Kind of try to show a little bit more of desktop publishing features. There's desktop publishing features and design elements have the same, they're basically, not the same, but they have the same kind of terminology to them. So you have line, shape, contrast, color, but there's basically the difference in them is the design elements are how you apply them, or how you actually go about explaining how they're applied in the poster or the advertisement that you're doing for whatever particular product is. The desktop publisher feature is, how you just find it and put it in, and then you have to kind of explain why that's used with the design principles of dominance and emphasis and depth, etc. So there's a few things that you can do here that I can just show. Some of them are very just basic, so I'm not going to try and insult anyone's intelligence, but it basically starts off. A couple of ones here are just, I'm using Pageplus X9, by the way, which we would use in the school here. The first one is just fonts. So looking at different sort of fonts here, and you can see some of them are formal, some of them are informal, something that we need to go over as well. And some of them have serif fonts and some of them are sans serif. Again, we'll cover that at a certain later date. So you can see that. I'm going to highlight that again because that didn't seem to change that one. We'll change it to invite because it's very striking, and you can see that it's definitely changed. So you're looking at the aspects of font, text boxes, obviously adding into columns, which I'll probably miss out. So text boxes, different fonts, colours. So we've got shapes. So we're talking about shapes here, and we're talking about in posters maybe using contrast and shapes, so circles and squares, etc. And what we can do with these is we can add colour to them, so we can add a kind of colour fill to it. Just seeing if my swatches are here, and again you can add like a red colour fill in there. There we go, and we'll use a different one, blue, for that one. So red and blue. So colour fill. If I move this over here, actually, you can do a gradient fill as well if I use a kind of fill tool down here. This isn't really a video on how to use this software. This is just a kind of run through of the different types of desktop publishing features that you'd find and what they look like. It's more to do with what they look like, actually. So I'm going to go for a linear thing here so that we've got more of a gradient fill, and you can see it's going from light to dark there. And I can easily pop in another circle and change that colour as well. Some different red. Oh, it's red in another one as well. So you kind of go from like light through to, from light red through to like a dark blue kind of thing. So that's a gradient fill. So where you're kind of blending colours, and colour fill is just a block of colour in a shape or text. So those are those ones, and obviously line is line. It's not as if it's going to be vertical or horizontal. You can make that thicker if necessary. Let's thicken this up. Okay, so that one of the ones that you might not be too sure of. Now again, if I use this square rectangle here, is shadow tool. So drop shadow. So we can easily find a drop shadow here like that. So you can add that to text as well. I should have dropped that down first, and then clicked on the text, and then went to the shadow tool. Is that going to work? Strange, it doesn't seem to work on that one. I'll have to investigate that, but it should work on text as well. Maybe it's something I'm doing there. Not quite. Maybe I'll highlight it that way, and we'll try it one last time. That's the colour. That's the paint tool I'm using now. So I can obviously do like a gradient fill on that as well. One last time the shadow tool here. There we are. I wonder if I picked up the wrong thing to begin with. I'll have to watch that video back and change that and look at that again. So these are just the kind of different sort of techniques that you might see in that course overview sheet, the different meanings behind them, what they look like. And again, you can alter some of these ones as well. If I actually right click and convert to curves, then I can actually bend these in. Like I said, this isn't really a tutorial on how to use this software. It's just really, how to edit a shape. So you might have a desktop publishing feature is how do you edit shapes. Another one, just kind of try to keep this brief really, just as an introduction, so that when you're looking at it and you're saying, what is text along a path? Well, it's looking at this kind of thing up here, being able to take a text and, you know, make it curvy, make it go round in a circle, make it go wavy, make it go in like a U shape or a circle path, like that as well. So that's text along a path, and you can edit the path as well. So I can bring that out a bit wider, and it can change text. It can change the way it's acting there. Sometimes it just takes a little minute to kind of refresh, because the software I'm running to capture this is probably slowing up the computer. So that's text along a path. You do also have text wrap. And again, if I can quickly, I should really make this font a bit bigger. See if we can get this working. So I'm just blocking in this. There's a quicker way of doing it, but it's escaped my mind just for the second. So you might have a block of text or something, and you want to move this out of the way slightly. You may want to wrap it around a shape. I wonder if I'll work with this one actually. I may have to convert this back to like a shape or a picture or something. So this will be interesting. I'll end up having to edit this wee bit out. Or bringing in a picture. So click on this, and then you can edit it to. You can edit the text. This is the idea of this, is that the text should flow around the outside of the shape here. Maybe choose type first. Okay. There it is. So you can see, I'll zoom in slightly. Slightly. Come on, calm down. You can see that this text here is flowing around the outside of this this shape here. Now I can move that in more, it'll probably refresh up and be able to curve around a bit more. And that's called text wrap, when you're wrapping text around a shape or an object or a picture. It can be quite striking if you do it in certain sort of publications. So other things you'd have columns. If you're doing like a magazine or inside of a magazine page, you'd have columns set up for text, and then within that you'd have images that the text might wrap around. Okay, so these are just the first kind of instances of different types of desktop publishing features. Again, you've got an image. You can bring in an image. I can probably bring in an image from things here. I don't know what they all are though. They could probably be my kids or something. Let's see. This will be a surprise, is it not letting me? You can bring in an image and you can edit it down using the. See if I can try another one here. Oh, hold on a second. That's not too bad. So there you go. So there's an image, and what you can do is you can edit it. You can crop it, which is another feature. You can take the background out of it. You can use Couch Studio to cut the back out of it. You could use the Photo Lab as well. Pageplus is now, this X9 publication is now stopped. What they're doing is a delete brush tool here. What they've done now is they've moved to Affinity Designer and Affinity Publisher. So you can see I'm cutting out the background, and I've cut through that top bit. So if I OK this, you'll see that being sliced off. They've moved to Affinity Designer and Affinity Publisher, which you can get. I'm not forcing anyone to buy any of this software, because this Pageplus it's cut the top off, you see. Pageplus is at the school, but you could, if you wanted to, you can buy and download it. I think they're £23 each. This would be the new version of this would be Affinity Publisher, and it's pretty much the same thing. It's maybe a wee bit more bells and whistles on it, but it looks pretty good. And for £23, some of you might have Adobe already. Some of you might be just working with Publisher. But if you don't, and you maybe need something for your computer, it's worthwhile getting a go and having a go at that for the price. Again, if you're buying Adobe, they're tying you into a monthly subscription, so that would be at least £16 for a student. But you do get a lot of packages for that. One last one here. I know we talked about line, we talked about colour. There's a way of putting in texture as well into colour, but I might leave that just now. But what we're looking at, you do have your different colour models as well, RGB, CMYK. These again you'll come back to during the course, and we'll cover that more in depth. You could do textures, which isn't down there. I think it's done. I think it's down with one of these ones. I'll try to find it. No joy for me. I'll leave that just now. There's one that has different sort of textures like wood and that, so we'll get there. I'll have a look at that one again. I'm not going to stress myself out. One last one. If you're looking at a publication here and you're putting in a background image, say it's this Glasgow 2014 thing here, we can send this to the back as well using the back tool. Bring to the front, send to the back. So it's in the background. Sometimes you'll have this, so you have an image in the background, and the idea then is you don't want it to be in the background and be right in your face. You're still overpowering what you want in the foreground, so you can use a transparency tool here, and obviously the lighter it is, the more faded it becomes. So you're using an element of transparency, and you're also using an element of depth then, because you've got this in the background and you've got some stuff in layers on top of it. So that's it. I'll leave that there just now, and there'll be other ones I'll cover. I'll probably do another video on doing more of this, and just looking at desktop publishing features. Okay, so that was like an intro to it anyway. Anyway, I'll disappear, and as I've always said here at the end, please remember to be safe. Thanks.